and ash being thrown into the air, coloring the sky a reddish gray, so dark that the sun could not be seen. Without warning, huge metallic space rocks plummeted down from the sky as they mercilessly trapped into the ground with explosive power, wiping out the hopeless sparks of life. Then came the volcanoes as they erupted one by one along tectonic plate boundaries, their lava coloring the ground blood red and forming a colossal wave of magma, destroying and igniting anything that comes in its path. This process lasted for thousands and millions of years, wiping out 98% of all the living creatures on this planet. The scene I just described to you was the Star Wars Rogue One movie. No, it's not. It's the Great Cretaceous mass extinction that happened 65 million years ago, and it was this global disaster that wiped out the largest land creatures that have ever lived, the dinosaurs, off of the surface of planet Earth. So indeed, how did I know so much about the extinction of dinosaurs? Today I'm going to tell you a story about how I gained my intense interest on dinosaurs and how this particular interest affected me in so many ways that I could have never imagined. The story all started out when I was in second grade. My parents bought me a DVD series called Planet Dinosaurs. After watching this astonishing series, I immediately fell in love with everything related to dinosaurs. Gradually, I became even more intrigued by dinosaurs as I wanted to buy more DVDs and encyclopedias about them. I even bought tons and tons of sculpted dinosaur figures to place upon my front desk, even until this day, because of this interest. I still need to keep up with my mental age. Throughout this process, I learned about so many random and yet mind-blowing facts about these prehistoric creatures. What I found out in this process of discovery was that the more interested I am in these prehistoric creatures, the more I wanted to learn about them. And the more I learned about them, the happier I am. It was like an endless and continuous chain of interest, knowledge, and joy. And this interest went on for months and months. Then one day, an idea out of nowhere immediately popped into my mind. It was a brilliant and magnificent idea, but so brilliant to the point where it seemed as if this idea was just a dream that would never be able to be accomplished in real life. And that dream is to write a book about dinosaurs by myself. But as impractical as this mission might seem, my interest in dinosaurs motivated me and pushed me forward to try out the impossible. And just like that, I started my journey as a mini author. As you can probably imagine, the process of writing a book in English about dinosaurs wasn't very easy, especially if you're talking about second grade international me that had just begun to learn simple sentences such as, I kicked the ball. This process not only made me realize just how much space there is for me to improve on my writing skills and how far I am to becoming an actual writer, it also took away large portions of my spare time. Let me tell you a funny joke in order to emphasize how much time I spent on writing that first book. When I was very little, I looked very different from how I look now. And one major difference was that I was actually really large and chubby. Hard to imagine. Because of this, all my neighbors called me Michelin, which is the name of a tire company with the logo of a chubby. However, I was so intrigued into writing that book about dinosaurs that I started to often skip lots of meals just to spend more time writing. And ever since then, I became skinnier and skinnier, until now I'm in the bottom weight class of my wrestling team. That was an awful exaggeration, but you guys got the point, right? But no matter how much time it took for me to write that book, and no matter how bad the language in that book was, I didn't care a single bit. I always continued writing. Was this all because of my excellent wit and determined gut to keep on moving? No, I didn't even learn these words in English yet. It was simply my great interest in dinosaurs that kept me motivated to continue writing about what I love. And just like that, about 10 months later, I finished writing that first book. But the whole chain didn't just end there. After finishing that first book, I felt the feeling of accomplishment that comes with completing a piece of your own work. And magically, a new interest was born. As a result of this new interest, I decided to keep on writing more books, moving away from the narrow topic of dinosaurs I decided to write 5 more books on other interesting topics, such as treasure hunting and time traveling, in the next few following years. After finishing writing each one of these 5 books, I could feel my writing skills improving as the books gradually became longer and more complex. Currently, I'm working on my 7th book. As you can see, what started out as a simple interest in dinosaurs evolved and resulted in my love of creative writing. The endless chain of the endless chain of interest is in action. This is a story so far about how my interest in dinosaurs started and developed into an endless chain of hobbies and awards. Actually, this interest of mine in dinosaurs has also led to my passion in writing guitar songs of my own and video editing, although I will not tell you about these unique events due to the limit of time. The main purpose of delivering this speech is to tell you all something special that I've discovered throughout this process, and that is to treasure your favorite interests. To state it in a simple way, if you love to play basketball, play basketball. If you want to cook dumplings, continue cooking dumplings. If you somehow like to play League of Legends, play League of Legends. Nobody should and nobody can stop you from motivating yourself to do what you love. But let's wrap up this speech in a fancy way. Your interests are your best friends. Not only do they make you the happiest, they can also help you learn and gain other interests in other things. Your favorite interest is just like a seed planted in the soil. At first, the seed might only sprout to become a single tree trunk, but that tree trunk will grow out branches and flowers. You might never know it, but your interests can reward you in many ways that you can never imagine, just like how it benefited me in my story. As the famous French politician Napoleon Bonaparte had said, a man would fight harder for his interests than for his rights. Be that man. Be yourself. Thank you.